video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I'm backstage. I'm looking backstage, and the music starts, and Valiant gets his big grin on his face. He's like, "Yeah!"
Oh, I turned it up. I had to cue this down and turn that up over here. We were jamming.
I love Star Trek.
May the fourth be with you. Okay.
Live long and may the fourth be with you.
I loved it when Spock saved Yoda from that Dagobah strip club. It was great.
Great. It is not logical for you to be here, you little green bastard.
I really want to see the film now.
Instead of yelling Khan, it was Thrawn! Sorry.
You green-blooded inhuman. Which one of us are you talking to?
Isn't it true
that
that
would have been
Data
fun.
shot first?
Data, yes, Data did. Yeah. Replace Spock with Yoda, and you get Bones and Yoda. That would make for an interesting episode.
Is that what you doing, Steven? Are you playing Battlefront?
I'm actually piloting an X-Wing. X-Wing, a Y-Wing right now. Ah! Okay, well, Loki just got me killed with distraction.
Hey, that's what I'm
Loki's
here
fault.
for.
Yeah, don't let the live show distract you.
Frat man down.
Picard, one of the new droids in Bad Batch.
Oh, that's true.
146 and 2. Yes, Picard is one of the new droids.
He is. He's the Apollo droid 909.
God.
And good morning, everyone. Greetings and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is Mark the Infinitely Tired, Purple Valkyrie, Valiant Renegade, and Fat Steven Seagal.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If you feel like the panel is weighed down, it's Steven.
Go F yourself.
We did have to get a can of Coruscant Crisco just to get him through the door.
And just like
Ouch.
Loki, he's still touching things with his Jar Jar jelly.
Try not to crush, Stephen. Try not to crush. You're doing well.
Well, not
thank
even
you.
5 minutes into the show, and this is where we are.
Of course. What did you expect? What did you
Loki's
expect?
Nothing less.
Loki's Mornings of Mischief is filmed in front of a live studio audience. All are unconscious and cannot hear us.
May the fourth be with you, and I get accused of making dad jokes and puns. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. On the 25th, we can celebrate real Star Wars Day from Jed. Somewhere in NB Geek, let's talk with a $2 super chat. Somewhere in Star Wars, there is a droid named WD-40.
Oh, that's Lando's special product.
Oh, no.
That toast looked mighty fine there, Luke. Come down here and let me
Nah.
show you what my WD-40 can do for you.
That's
What do you
Colt
think they made the
45.
character Geode for? I think it's for Lando.
Oh, shit.
Some of his pansexual adventures.
I gave it Red 9. That's a new VD out there. Red 9. Hey,
Not-
Red 9, come here.
Not first, yo last.
And
True
thank you
meaning
so
of
much,
catching a
MB
virus.
Geek.
What was that? I couldn't hear chocolate butt plug. What?
No, go ahead. Sorry. Like he was fixing to do a skull. Uh-oh.
Did everyone
Thank
die?
you so very much, MB Geek. Let's talk for that $2 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright in Valhalla. Skull! Yes, help us, please.
There is no hope here.
None.
They're off
Oh,
all
man.
lights.
There are what? That's
There are
Star
4
Trek.
lights. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we've
okay.
talked about Star Trek more since we've started this than Star Wars on Star Wars Day. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Wait. Babylon 5 was our best,
gonna blame
best
Steven.
chance of hope. Peace. Wait, that's Babylon 5.
What was the first Star Wars movie you guys saw? We'll go around. Mark.
Star Wars 1977, 77, 78, at a drive-in.
No shit.
Yep. I'm old. No, I was a
Damn.
kid when I saw it. I was 7 when I saw it.
What about you, Purple?
It was Star Wars, but I wasn't lucky enough to see it in the cinema, unfortunately. But I did see it on VHS.
Cool. Valiant.
Same thing. First Star Wars movie, the 1977 one. I don't remember the year, but I'm pretty sure it was probably 83, right before Return of the Jedi, because I think that was one of the first movies I saw in the theater.
Yeah, same here. Pat Steven.
You're gonna hate me. I think I was a kid, and it was this George's special edition where he got rid of the Vaseline on the screen and finally figured out how to use a CGI wipe.
So you saw the special edition first?
In theaters, yes. On TV, my dad recorded when it came on TV on VHS, so I got all the commercials and stuff.
Oh,
And then
you didn't clip those out.
No, he's lazy. No, it's my dad. It's either going to find a VHS or a grilled cheese in my VCR. It was one or the other. So I was happy it was a movie in there, not a grilled cheese.
Speaker for the Dead says I saw it in 77 at the drive-in with my parents. Larry, May 25th, 1977. MB Geek Let's Talk 1985, Return of the Jedi on VHS. I saw Jedi in the theater. I talked about that before on Echo Base, and I was the little kid that jumped up when the Ewoks attacked and was like, yeah!
And that's why they made those. That was for the kids. Go out and buy these toys.
Yeah, and they did. That Christmas I got that Ewok tree hut village thing.
You got the
I
village
remember
too.
Nice.
because when I woke up, mine was like all put together, and my cousins had to build their own. And I was like playing with mine, like, oh look, I got the rock drop and all this stuff already set up, and they're like looking at me like, screw you little bastard. Amanda Gillum presents. Good morning, Amanda. Says Empire Strikes Back was mine. But man, we saw these things in school. I remember every year, the elementary school I went to in Texas, every year at the last day of school, they'd have a pizza party. Didn't matter what grade you were in. And we watched all 3 movies. That was like what we got to do for the last day every year in elementary school. All right, up until junior high. And then it was like, no, you can't have fun anymore, you little fucks. You got to do schoolwork. You know, the last day. Bastards. Larry, widescreen theater. I guess you saw it in a widescreen theater.
Oh, I never saw anything like it. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I mean, true widescreen. I'd never seen anything widescreen until probably about 6 years ago, because going to regular movies, we didn't have anything like IMAX down here, because Alabama's so backwards. It it took Pensacola getting it before we could getting to see something on true IMAX.
Someone said the other day, I can't remember who it was, but someone was saying they were looking into getting the 4K, the new 4K releases, and they're not true 4K. They are 2K upscaled to 4K. They are not real 4K. They have like artificial HDR. It's not real HDR. So if you are looking into getting the 4K discs, just be aware that the first 6 movies are not 4K. They are 2K upscaled to 4, and the HDR isn't like real HDR. So those deep, deep, dark blacks aren't there. If that's what you're looking for. The sound is absolutely phenomenal. I will give you that. I got a home theater surround sound system. The sound is absolutely awesome. The picture is not up to snuff. I watched, what was it the other night? Wrath of Khan in 4K. Let me tell you something. That's much better than the picture quality on that. Is much better than the Star Wars.
Have they released the Star Trek movies on 4K? I missed that.
Yes, they have.
Okay.
Was that Wrath of Thrawn?
Wrath of Thrawn.
Thrawn.
The Wrath of Thrawn.
That killer Smurf is coming again.
The problem with these, a lot of these 4K releases, and a lot of that has to do with George having gone back and made the special edition, and they refused to go back and release the originals. When they made the special edition, they went back to the original film negatives. They did do a beautiful, very high resolution scan and restoration, right? When they did that, and they have to go back in and they do all the extra digital manipulation, like where they added in Jabba the Hutt in A New Hope and all that kind of stuff. And Hollywood still does this today. When you go see even things like Avengers Endgame, stuff like that, it's shot in 4K or 6K. But then they down convert it to 2K DCI in order to do the post-production VFX and the CGI, because it's much easier to do it when you're, instead of trying to render these things into 4K, it takes 4 times as much data. So then the finished product just gets up converted back to 4K. So anyway, that's why we wound up what we have with the 4K discs of Star Wars, which they look pretty good, but they're not as good as they could be, because they were going from that 2K DCI finished product, what they did the special editions on. So kind of sucky.
Yep. Valiant's got it. Valiant's got it. The THX restoration. I absolutely love that, because if you watch the making of that back in the day, the guy that's talking to Vader when he's on Leia's ship, the word of this gets out, it could generate sympathy for the rebellion. That guy, he's got a coffee stain that you never ever saw in the movie, because it wasn't that high quality. So when they bumped it up and restored the film negative, which was falling apart when they did that, he's got a damn coffee stain on his shirt that you could never see before. So they got to go in and they got to like wipe that out and clean it up and make it look like you can't even see that. So the THX versions of the movie are the best visual quality that they've got. And then they went and did the special edition. And like you said, they did that 2K and then they upscaled it. And that's just, that's all you're going to get. That's all the best you're going to get. That's why when Disney launched Disney Plus, they were immediately there in 4K, because they'd already done that.
Right.
But it's not real 4K. That's
so they're lying to it.
Yes. Disney. What a shock.
Yeah. When they put the Blu-rays
Disney never
out,
lies.
when they put the Blu-rays out, they had already had the special editions converted into a 4K resolution. So it was just dropping it on there and then going back and pressing the discs. So, but yeah, it all came from when they did the special edition. It was because they had to add in all the extra digital effects. They went back and they finished that scan in 2K DCI.
Release the coffee stain cut.
Don't give them any ideas. Don't do it.
But back then, still Han shot first.
Oh hell yeah!
Han shot
Data
first.
shot first. Sorry, I'll shut up now.
Disney never lies. Here are our previous winners: Whitman, Price, and Haddad. You remember them? There they are at the Disney Palace, basking in the Florida sun.
You remember that one time Yoda was down in Florida riding that tornado while screaming, "Yeehaw!" Fighting Jedi Sith named Wince Windu.
Stain Wars, Robert Pearson.
Oh.
Stain Wars.
Star Wars, a Tide Pod story.
McClunky.
Oh,
McClunky. What the hell does McClunky mean?
And McGriffin.
McClunky. Okay, I get it. I get why he put it in there, because when he was a kid in Phantom Menace, he says McClunky. But God help me, it doesn't have to be in the movie. It doesn't have to be in the OG. You don't have to connect it. Oh well, guess what, guys? We're gonna put a word in, and we're gonna connect the Phantom Menace with Star Wars 77.
Oh, the 66 was really 65 because 90% of the stormtroopers were still in the cloning vat. So, they were lying to everybody.
I'll never understand Lucas. This is a guy that fought for films to be protected. Films are like art, he said. This is art. You have to protect this. We have to catalog and make sure that these films are never messed with, or they never digitally insert anything. And these films must be protected. Oh wait, I'm gonna digitally insert a whole bunch of shit into my movies.
I didn't mean his stuff. Yeah. It's
well,
okay when he
to
does it.
to be fair to George on that end, I know that his original intentions was to have those things in there. He wanted to have more monsters walking through Mos Eisley. He shot the scene to try to have a Jabba the Hutt in the first movie. I get that. But that being said, the first movie has become such an iconic masterpiece that to mess with it, even though he originally intended it to be there, that's where people got upset. And I understand that too. So I can't necessarily blame him for doing it. I know he, after 30 years at that point, he wanted to, or 20 years at that point, he wanted to go back and put in what he originally wanted. But yeah, it was a little jarring, especially, if the movie hadn't been nearly as famous as it was, that'd be one thing. But man, everybody knows that movie that are fans backwards and forwards. And, is what it is.
And Colin, as soon as Guido showed up and said, "Buta buta solo," Han knew he was going to kill him. Han knew, I'm going to shoot this little green bastard, and he's never going to go back to Jabba and report that I'm doing anything, and he's not going to take me back to Jabba. He knew there was and it doesn't matter whether he shot. He had to shoot first. He had to. He was going to kill Guido. Saying self-defense, screw all that. Han shot him and Han killed him, and that was like the whole thing about Han. It showed us Han's character right from the beginning, deciding 30 years later, well, I don't really want Han to be like that. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, it's Star Wars Day, but I'm going to say this. A lot of people put stock in Lucas, and a lot of people want Lucas to come back and correct Star Wars. And yes, I did throw some quotes in there. Correct Star Wars. He has been uncorrecting Star Wars since the prequels came out. So George Lucas is not the end all be all of Star Wars. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, George Lucas wrote and passed. Well, sand is coarse and drop, and it gets everywhere.
And that's what happens when you don't have your wife being your editor anymore.
I like that timing.
Well, George, so it's brilliant when it comes to creating a universe and creating a story. George, obviously, like you just said, when it comes to actually doing the screenwriting and especially writing dialogue, no. That's his line right there. He needs to get other people to do that part.
Yeah,
which he did after that. I don't think he did the third one, right? He didn't do Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, he did all three of them.
Yeah.
He
fully wrote the screenplay himself for Revenge of the Sith.
Sure
I thought he had somebody else kind of looking over his shoulder on that one. Okay, maybe so.
Well, it definitely wasn't Kathleen because she was still making coffee.
She should have stayed
I know
making
we should
coffee.
say exactly. Yeah.
I don't even think Starbucks wanted her anymore. I'm like, why do you keep writing whamming on every cup?
Written by George Lucas, edited by Roger Barton and Ben Burt.
The Frappuccino was female.
I remember the part of the controversy back then was he wanted complete creative control, and he told Fox, I'm gonna pay for these movies myself. I'm gonna produce this. I'm gonna pay for this. And he wanted complete creative control. So when that Fox label comes up, that's just Fox going, well, we did the last ones, and we're still kind of connected, even though Lucas is going off and he's doing it in house now. Fox still had that label on it.
All right, look, I have a question for you. I think it's for all the fans. Can I ask this one?
Yeah.
Most favorite and most hated character in the Star Wars franchise?
Ooh, Mark, go.
No. I asked him first. What is this? Passing the buck.
Of course. Most liked, tie between Luke and Obi-Wan. Most disliked. Probably in general the Ewoks. I'll group them all together because I hated them. Because I was 13 when Return came out and totally hated them.
Purple.
It's got to be Darth Vader. I love the look of the character. He is the ultimate iconic villain who becomes redeemed, and I love a good redemption story. Least favorite character, it's got to be Jar Jar. Even when he came out, he was aimed at kids and kid hated him. So he had no hope, unfortunately. Although I do feel bad for the actor who played him.
Valiant.
Favorite character, man, it's tough. Probably a tie-up between Luke and Vader for sure. I mean, together those two were just so dynamic. Least favorite, yeah, I'd probably have to say Jar Jar too. Nothing against Ahmed Best, the guy's great, but man, the way the character was done was just grated on your nerves.
I'm gonna say, because I'll go before Steven. Han Solo. A second runner-up would be Obi-Wan from the prequels. I thought Ewan McGregor was the shit in the prequel movies. And I saved you, Master. Oh, yes. I'm going to rub my beard. Yes. Oh, yes, you did, my Padawan. No. But Han with the Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan for the close second. I would have to be Anakin in episode 1. I hated that little shit. Are you an angel? What? I'm mentally messed up, and I think you're an angel, a space angel. Yay! Let's go out and make space angels in the sand. I just couldn't stand that little shit. I understand the guy's messed up. I understand that he got hooked on some bad shit, and they gave him some bad spice back in the day or something. But I just could not stand him in episode 1. Mom, look, I'm a hero. No, isn't that great, Annie? Isn't that just great? What about you, Steven?
Most hated is the same as you. I cannot stand little orphan Anakin. I cannot stand him at all.
He's little orphan Annie.
As for the most liked, it's Luke from New Hope, or honestly, Porkins I like just because the amount of memes they did with Porkins.
Having him with a taco in one hand and a Slurpee in the other, yeah, it's just yeah.
I'm not touching that one, Robert.
We're not talking about anything that's not real Star Wars.
Yeah, that's not characters in Star Wars. Those are Star Wars is great. Sequels are great for one thing. You can put it on mute, and it's like watching mimes trying to act.
Fan fiction. We're not talking about fan fiction.
Droids is even better than that.
I don't even know if that qualifies as fan fiction.
You know what? It's funny, Valiant. We were talking comics the other day, and it just popped into my brain because a lot of the writers on these comics and a lot of the artists are on these woke books are inserting themselves into the IP and making themselves like perfect. You know, oh, this person doesn't have any flaws, they don't have any weaknesses, they don't have any of this. And I'm like, well, that's exactly what KK did with Ray. I mean, KK is Ray. It's you know, with an abusive boyfriend that beats the shit out of her and kills her friends. And I mean, it's just like, yeah, okay, KK, you're in Star Wars. You got your fanfic published. Isn't that special? It's almost like sparkly vampires.
Oh God.
Well, you bring that up. I always found it funny how in inserting herself into that movie as Rey, she did it a little too perfectly because she gave Rey the most undeserved sense of accomplishment that she didn't achieve. It's just like KK.
Can you stop saying KK insert in the same sentence, please? It's really disgusting.
Thank you, Steven.
and Ashing, if you do, I'm you know what? I'm glad. I really am, because I just swore to God I was gonna bring this up. When I saw Last Jedi, and I walked out of that theater, I felt like I had Star Wars PTSD. I didn't know what the fuck had happened to me. I felt shell shocked. I walked out and I went and saw it with my at the time girlfriend, who's now my ex, and I just was like, what the fuck did we just watch? Did you like it? No, I don't think I did either. I called my dad and I was like, hey, we just got out of the new Star Wars movie. Was it good? No. No, I don't think it was. I'm gonna have to process for a couple of days. Really? Yeah, really. I'd never been to a Star Wars movie that I didn't at least like.
Well, not exactly the sort of response you expect from a Star Wars film.
When I went to see it, the theater caught on fire.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that should have been a sign.
Wow.
Did any of y'all go and see the prequels opening night, like at the midnight show?
No, there were lineups everywhere. You couldn't. Yep. Everyone was cosplaying. Everyone was dressed up as Obi-Wan or Luke or Leia. Like, those nights and release days were one of the most epic because every news covered it, and they showed lines going around the block, fans rejoicing, sharing moments, having lightsaber battles. They just shut down streets. And then the sequel trilogies come out, and tumbleweeds are literally looking for jobs and unemployment lines at your closest resource center. There definitely was a difference. But do you remember those? Do you just remember the lines everywhere? Everyone excited?
I wouldn't. I didn't see Phantom Menace opening night. I did not see that. But I saw Attack of the Clones at IMAX opening night, which was insane. And then I saw Revenge of the Sith at AMC 30 in Pasadena, Texas. And I want to tell you something. All 30 theaters were sold out. There were stormtroopers everywhere. There were Darth Vaders everywhere. There were Sith, Jedi, Luke's, Leia. I remember this like 10-year-old girl dressed up like Leia while we're walking out going, Daddy, why did Anakin kill everybody? Because he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He's Darth Vader, you know? And it was just like, she didn't get it. She just didn't understand that, but Revenge of the Sith was insane. It was absolutely insane. I thought Attack of the Clones was nuts. Getting to see that opening night. No, Revenge of the Sith was nuts. It was absolutely positively nuts. And I remember the next day, everything Star Wars was sold out. That morning when the news came on, everyone was buying Star Wars shit. And you just don't see that. You don't see that anymore.
There was so much of it as well. You know, so much merchandise that you could get, everything, you know, t-shirts, cups, toys, even in the cinema when you're waiting to get popcorn, the special popcorn buckets that you could get. It was insane.
Yeah. I've got, I think I still have my Revenge of the Sith popcorn bowl. I know I've got Force Awakens and Rogue One The Rogue One was the only one that I kept.
I mean, I remember when Phantom Menace came out. Now, at that time, I was about, I think, almost 18 in 97. And, that's back in the day when you had Toys R Us and you still had KB Toys in the mall. And I mean, I remember walking into a Toys R Us, like right after I think that movie opened, half the store was Star Wars merchandise. I mean, that was back in the day when they could produce pretty much anything, put an official Lucasfilm or Star Wars logo on it, and it was gone. Ain't happening no more.
And they still had the stuff on the shelves. What was it, 95 when the trilogy re-released in theaters? Was it 95, Mark?
Yeah, 95 through 97 because Phantom Menace came out in 99.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 90. So it was 99, not 97. That's what I'm thinking of when
it was nuts. I remember getting to see them in the theater, and I remember I had to use my own money because my dad, I ain't going to see them damn things. I got them right here on VHS. Don't need to go see them in the damn movie theater. We can sit right here and make our own damn
Star Wars at home.
Yeah, we got Star Wars at home. Don't need to go damn theater see no damn Star Wars. see Jabba. They don't even look like Jabba. It's like a slug. Damn slug.
I think the Phantom Menace was like the first time we ever had remember we had music stations, like music video stations where literally the Duel of the Fates was an actual music video and was so popular even Weird Al Yankovic was on parody.
A brilliant parody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually came out before the film because he pieced it together from bits that he'd seen. But we were talking, I think, last Friday, and we were saying how people even bought tickets to see other films just to see trailers for the Star Wars prequels. And
yes. I remember that. You got to go see this movie. I don't want to see it. Yeah, but it's got the Phantom Menace trailer before. No. And people would buy tickets, spend $8, $10, whatever it was at that point, walk in, watch the trailer, and leave.
Yeah, and leave.
Like, what the... Yeah. Just, unbelievable.
And Roger H with a $2 Canadian super sticker, and he gives us a thumbs up. Thank you so very much, Roger. We are doing nothing but Vader this morning, brother. Skol! Hey, Steven, Undead Ramen sent you a message.
Show us on the Yoda plushie where Kathleen Kennedy touched Undead Ramen. I don't know. Sorry, my English isn't my favorite sound, so that's all, folks. Messed up my own joke. Goddamn.
Half long short part of why I love the sequels is because I'm young now, but when they came out, I was a lot younger and I thought the movies were the bomb. I liked Force Awakens, man. I bought my kids Force Awakens shit. They had, the Rey poster and the BB-8 poster and all that shit. I went full in until I saw Last Jedi. And people warned me. Now, I will say this. There's a lot of people out there that be, I knew from the very beginning. Shut the fuck up. You didn't know shit. You liked it just like the rest of us. But go ahead, Steven.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's right, because you just brought up a good point. Everyone probably has that same moment, and I'm probably wrong. When that first trailer, that first time you heard that music, that sound, Han talking in the background before Force Awakens trailer came out, as it was coming out that first time. Everyone had that chest feeling like you were just at the first drop on that roller coaster. It was like your childhood, the family you saw it with, any memory attached with, every emotional attachment that came with Star Wars that you remembered, hit you all at once in that waterfall, in that tsunami, and it gave you that hope. And then Abrams just boxed you away.
Do y'all remember the gentleman that poor guy had cancer and he wasn't going to he only had a couple weeks left to live. Yep. And JJ heard about this, and you know what? I got to give it to JJ. JJ heard about this guy that only had a couple weeks to live. The movie was months away from coming out, and JJ went to this guy's house with a cut of the film and let him watch it. And I remember that guy saying, "You know what? This is so great. I just the one thing I hope is they don't kill Han."
Wow.
And they kill Han.
Chewie, we're home. All the story.
Oh.
All true.
Yeah.
And then,
dude, I had hairs standing up on the back of my neck.
So did I. I spent hours trying to find, like to pirate the Seven Seas and all that stuff. I refused to go to the theater and stuff. But eventually I had to do it at a midnight show. I sat in the front row. I had the Stormtrooper 3D glasses. It was the only film. There was no people in that theater at that time. And A New Hope had a chance of being literally... Sorry, not New Hope. I keep thinking it's New Hope because it was like New Hope. Force Awakens had a chance to be A New Hope all over again. And I can't forgive them.
Well, that's specifically what they asked KK to do. Bob Iger, and then they told JJ, "We need you to, remake A New Hope for now, for modern times, because that's where they wanted to start it. Because they figured, let's give everybody something they're familiar with." And I was like, Loki, I walked out of there. I enjoyed it. I said, okay, I can forgive it for being a copy, because I know they're trying to bring in new people. Didn't like the way Han died, but it didn't break me. I didn't expect him to be around more than one movie, just knowing Harrison Ford wasn't really into coming back as Han anyway. That really wasn't his favorite character. But yeah, I was like, okay, I can deal with this. The same technology's around. They just made it yet bigger again with Starkiller Base, because they already knew how to build a Death Star. So now they're going to build it out of a planet. And I said, okay, this is fun. I can get down with this. And then, just like you said, Last Jedi comes along, and that was it. And then and then because of that, it ruins The Force Awakens, because now The Force Awakens serves absolutely no purpose.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it slightly differently. They banked on the nostalgia of fans, and I saw it as being kind of emotionally manipulative. They dangled this carrot in front of people and then just kind of ripped it away. But it could have been something incredible, as you say. It could have been a whole new, amazing trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I literally had the thought that, honestly, that Mace had a family, and I literally thought Finn was part of Mace Windu's family, and he was taken away from the Outer Rim. Yeah. I literally thought that, and we were going to see Mace Windu's goddamn son come back.
Yep.
And it was going to show him finally realizing his Force potential, and we're going to find out that Mace wasn't dead. He was hiding on another planet like Dagobah. They had all that opportunity.
Well, not only that, but the character that Max von Sydow plays, and this just got recently proven true, and I've said this from the very beginning before any of this was revealed, the character that Max von Sydow played in Force Awakens was connected to the Duchess of Mandalore. Okay, and the Duchess of Mandalore had a relationship with Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Duchess and Obi were as close in love, besides Anakin and Padme, were as close in love as a Jedi and a civilian could be. I honestly believed that was Obi-Wan's granddaughter. That Rey was Obi-Wan's granddaughter, and Luke was gonna, once he found out her lineage, he was gonna train her. Mm-hmm. He was going to say no at first. I'm not doing it. I'm not training any more Jedi. I'm retired. I'm the old grumpy ass man on the mountain. And then he sees Obi-Wan, and he tells him who the girl is, and he's like, shit. And he's got to do it because Obi-Wan trained him at first. So that would be him paying it forward. I really thought that's what they were going to do. JJ recently confirmed that was the original idea, and that round-head bastard screwed it up and threw it out. Mm-hmm. And that would have been
fantastic.
That would have been fantastic.
There is one thing I want to say before we go on. Sorry, Valiant. I want to say this to everyone who's watching right now. Just because we're talking negatively about movies doesn't mean we're talking about negative. We're not giving negativity to people who actually enjoyed those films. I got to state this a lot of times, because a lot of people think just because we don't like it you should think that you should not like it as well. Love those movies. If you love sequels, if you love the prequels, if you love the original trilogy, whether it be Bad Batch, the Droids, the cartoon, Ewoks, the cartoon, what we say is an opinion is not attacking you as a person for liking them if we don't. Don't ever feel that obligated that you have to feel like you can't like them if someone else doesn't. I think we can't stress that enough because a lot of people do feel attacked like that sometimes, and it's not the case here.
No, really Ash, like I said, if you like those movies, I'm happy for you. I hate that I can't. I hate that I can't. You know what, my girls, I know my girl loves that movie. So and that's perfectly all right. That is absolutely perfectly all right. She like you, Ash, she was a kid when she saw it and she absolutely loves it. Now she's like, Ray is so OP. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so me. You're just so me.
Well, a thing I didn't like about it is you have to go read a comic book to even understand that character, to understand Max von Sydow's character. I mean, that's classic JJ, but like he did with Star Trek. Well, I mean, why can't you add 5 minutes into a movie fans have been waiting for just to give a little bit more breakdown on his character? And Finn being ripped off completely in the trilogy was another bad thing. He should have been. I mean, I agree with Fat Steven on that. He should have been more than what he was.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that. Yeah, I have a real soft spot for the stormtroopers, and have had the opportunity to have a little bit of backstory of what it would have been like to be part of the First Order. That would have been far more interesting than what we got, quite frankly.
He should have been like special forces. He really should have. He should have been like an elite kick-ass member of a special forces team for the First Order. And that turn, even if they hadn't have made him connected to Mace, that turn from dedicated special forces operative in the First Order to a rebel would have been really interesting. He could have been very Han Solo like, just not a smuggler. He could have had a very, very interesting character arc, and he just didn't. Just didn't.
And to me, actually, I want to retcon my worst character. Captain Phasma is probably the worst character in the trilogy. They wasted an opportunity with that character. Majorly wasted an opportunity.
I thought that was the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
Could have been.
And Big Geek Let's Talk says, when KK said there's not source material, I looked at my bookshelf and is this chick smoking some bad stuff that day? They had so much material. They do. They absolutely do. And it's a travesty that what they did with the EU, they completely cut it out, but then they went back and cherry picked. And I knew as soon as I saw Thrawn on Rebels, I said they're cherry picking through the EU now. Mm-hmm. They say the EU doesn't exist, but they're going to take these characters, they're going to take things that they want, they're going to turn it to the way they want it, and they're going to use it. They're just going to use it their way. And it's sad that they did that. I understand you can't go back with how old everyone was. You can't go back and do the Thrawn trilogy.
Right.
You'd have to have new actors. You would have to deep fake it like they did recently on The Mandalorian, the second season of The Mandalorian, which I loved. I loved the first and the second season of The Mandalorian. I absolutely love that show. When people said that, a lot of people said that the first couple episodes of Mandalorian, this isn't going to go anywhere. This is stupid. The music's wrong. You have no idea who these characters are. I was like, just give it time. Give it time. They're going to do something special. I have absolute faith in Favreau that they're going to do something special. If there's anything you like about what Disney's done, do you guys have anything that you like about Disney, what Disney's done? Mark?
Given that even though they're ruining it, giving us the shows on Disney Plus giving us their version of the expanded universe, to me was good, even though we've only gotten the Mandalorian. But if they cool off all the woke stuff and just give us Star Wars and keep doing that, that's to me is a very good thing.
Purple.
I did enjoy Rogue One. I've got to admit, of all of the films, it was probably the best. That's not really say much. I mean, I didn't see the third film, and I didn't see Solo, so I have no idea what those two films were like. But there was so much potential. There were so many, missed opportunities with the sequel trilogy. It's like, oh, guys. And I miss buying really cool merchandise as well. I don't think I've bought anything Star Wars in a long time that's hasn't been attached to The Mandalorian.
Valiant?
Well, yeah, as far as the new stuff is concerned, I think Rogue One was definitely the best thing they did. I mean, everybody I knew that was a fan said that felt the most Star Wars of what came out. And like Purple just said, I miss having all that really cool merchandise. We don't have anything, at least not until now. Maybe there's a ray of hope, no pun intended on that one at all, or maybe so. But maybe there's some hope going forward that we'll get some better Star Wars. We'll get some real Star Wars coming out. So we'll see. It all depends on what happens in the next few months with Kennedy's contract, Favreau, and all this stuff going on. We just have to sit back and wait. So anyway, Loki, thanks for having me. I got to run, guys.
Valiant. Take care, brother. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, if you haven't checked out Valiant Renegade, check him out. We're going to throw a link out there in the description for his channel in the chat. Thank you so very much for being here, brother.
Happy Star Wars Day Valhalla, and thank you, Loki, so much. Take care.
May the 4th be with you, brother.
Bye, Valiant.
Give me $500.
No, he caught that at the end. He was laughing there at the end. Steven.
See, this is kind of like a half-assed long story. With Disney now, ever since what's happened over the last, let's say, year and a half now, I have had to emotionally detach myself to anything that's Disney Star Wars. Everything. I can enjoy certain parts of films, but I don't like any of it anymore because it's no longer Star Wars. It's corporation wars. It's all corp stuff. It's all business Star Wars. It's not story. It's not quality. Yes, the Luke scene is great in Mandalorian. Yes, the Vader scene is great in Rogue One. I love the ship battles, but that's it. That is literally it. And the droid. The droid from Rogue One. Who's the big one that's not going to be in the series, the Andor series?
KS-01 or
KS. Yeah.
If there was any droid in the world I would want to be, it would be that droid because he is an a-hole, he is a smartass, but he's also loyal to his friends and team. So that's kind of the traits I go with most of except for Amanda can suck it. But that's different. That's it. I literally have no attachment to it anymore. If I want to see anything Star Wars that I like, it's the Droids cartoon. That is my guilty pleasure.
K2SO. Derek McManus, K2SO.
Yeah. Like, Leak sucked. I'm sorry. Solo, I watched it once, never again. And I still haven't seen Rise of Skywalker. I will not watch it.
That's pretty sad that Solo sucks so bad. I actually love the soundtrack to that movie. The movie just sucked.
If we're gonna have something that Disney made, Tron Legacy. That is the last thing I like from Disney because of the soundtrack.
What was that, Mark?
Solo would have been good if it wouldn't have been called Solo in the Star Wars movie. I mean, if you'd have renamed him Dash Rendar and gone that route, that movie probably would have been fine. It's just the expectation behind the character and what they did to Han's character that ruined that movie. Because to me, it was a bad movie, but it wasn't really bad if you take out the names. And I'm probably going to get panned for that one. But
welcome, Amanda. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Why don't you tell us what your favorite Star Wars moment is? What is your favorite part of Star Wars? And anything. It could be like the bringing fans together. It could be anything. Anything you want. Movie. Anything.
That's actually what I've been thinking about since you mentioned it in your Discord. For Star Wars, for me, my fondest memories, I can think of two. And it's all about coming together. My family, when I was little, would get together on a weekend And it's, when I say family, I'm talking my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my grandparents, my parents, my siblings. And we would all get together, watch all 3 movies back to back to back. I remember every time you would hear that 20th Century Fox fanfare, and then the whole family on our big 25-inch screen TV, because yes, that's how old I am, would watch and say in stereo the entire crawl, starting with one long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And it's just, and then with that, the prequels. Am I a huge fan of the prequels? No. Do I have fond memories of them? Yes. Camping out for 2 weeks or 3 days for the first one, 5 days for the second, and 5 days for the third, with a bunch of people that were just as big and nerdy as I am about Star Wars. That's such a great memory. And to me, that's what Star Wars is about. If Han, Luke, and Leia, who are completely different on all points as characters, could come together and look over their differences to bond, that's what Star Wars is.
Yeah, sitting out in front of an AMC 30, like a day before the movie came out, watching the trilogy, the original trilogy, over and over and over again on this little like mobile DVD player with its own screen, and people surrounding us quoting the movie as it's going on this little tiny screen on this mobile DVD player. Shit, people we never knew, people we never saw again.
Yes.
And we're all sitting there and hanging out, laughing and chilling and watching this movie.
It's everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my memory of Star Wars. It's just meeting really cool people that I get to have conversations with and have lightsaber duels with.
And Larry, no family supported my interest in sci-fi movies, TVs, or books. That's horrible, Larry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, bud. That was like, it was Star Trek and Star Wars growing up for me. And it was...
Hi, Lieutenant Savick.
And it was all of that. Even Forbidden Planet, The Thing from Another World, the old black and white movie, all of that, everything sci-fi, I grew up watching, and that was it was great getting to grow up and seeing that and watching that and spending time with family and getting to share those memories and getting to share those memories with my kids.
Yes. There, you can say hi. It's not your day, though.
Kitty wants attention. Pod Racing Palpatine, I traveled 5,000 miles to see episode 1 and 3. Good times and a lot of fond memories. Damn, where were you 5,000 miles? I've traveled millions of miles, thousands of miles to see Star Wars 1 and 2.
I will never forget camping out for 2 weeks and 3 days for episode 1 just to get tickets. Not even to get into the movie yet. This was just to get tickets.
Yeah, that 5,000 miles was probably just a queue he was in to get into the cinema.
I think he had Proclaimers playing the whole time, though. I would walk 5,000 miles, and I would walk 5,000 more.
An Ash thing, I thought Solo was okay, but the best things in that film was the Kessel Run through the storm and seeing Darth Maul talking about the syndicates and Crimson Dawn. The Maul was supposed to be a giant collection of black holes. Thousands and thousands of black holes. Mm-hmm. That Maw. The Maw.
And that was the only good thing that Kevin J. Anderson created in the Jedi Academy trilogy.
With the Death Star in the middle of it. The skeleton of the first Death Star.
Did any of you guys ever... Sorry. Did you guys ever play Shao's the Empire for N64?
Yes.
Yep.
How great was that game, and why haven't we ever get a movie that was just that? Because it was pretty much on point.
Well, Rogue One is actually a copy of a Star Wars game called Dark Forces. In that game, you play Kyle Katarn, but you also have a pilot that pilots your ship, and her name is Jan... Ursa or something, and then you've got Jyn Erso in Rogue One. So what they did with Rogue One was they just cut out Kyle Katarn. Like Kyle Katarn never existed. And Kyle Katarn was going to be one of Luke's Jedi in the new Jedi Academy. So they just cut out Kyle Katarn and kept Jan Ursa, which became Jyn Erso. They weren't fooling anybody. Anybody that knew the books, anybody that knew the history of the games, of the EU, knew that they just cut and pasted a character and slightly renamed her so they didn't have to pay the guy rights.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yep. Robert Pearson, 3 dislikes. SJWs are easily started, but they'll be back and in great numbers.
They hide their numbers by walking in single file while crying about no one looking at them.
Low spec Linux laptop. Cutting Kyle Katarn was so wrong. It is. The entire Dark Forces game series is great. It is. It absolutely is.
He's not forgotten. He's here in the complete Star Wars encyclopedia, guys. He's in here. Okay. It's okay.
What was it? Was it Jedi Knight 1 or 2 that you had to face off an AT-ST with just a lightsaber? God damn it.
My God.
That pissed me off so much. It was really the first boss. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it was the first boss.
Yes.
And they gave it, and there was a cliff edge, too. You're like, let's make this more difficult. Okay, let's just do that. But it was great.
Well, IG-88 on Ord Mantell was not exactly easy, and
no, he wasn't. He wouldn't stay still.
That part. Because you could hear that noise and him coming, and you didn't know where he was coming from, and it was pretty much over with if you didn't sing.
Or the train getting to him, and you're trying to dodge you had to duck or jump. That was a pain. The Wampus though on the Hoth base was fun. The asteroid battle was great. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's Jan Ors. Jan Ors is in the Dark Forces games, and Jyn Erso is in Rogue One.
Not much imagination in that name.
Really?
Yes. I don't know what you're talking about. I can see a total difference in the name. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jedi Outcast and Academy are still the best lightsaber combat games. That is why they still have them on PS4 and PS5, including Rogue Trooper is now out on Rogue Troopers are now out on PS4 and PS5.
Oh, Republic Commando?
Yes.
You can still get all the older ones like Jedi Starfighter, which is really bad. I tried playing it again. Yeah, I have it.
On PS5?
Dude, hold on. Give me one. I don't have PS5, but it's in my thing. It should work on your PS5. Give me 1 second. I will put on the cam.
When the hell in the Star Wars timeline is Bad Batch supposed to take place? I think it's right before episode 3. Shadows of the Empire was amazing. I beat the game with 52 lives remaining. It is. Is that the remake?
No,
or the updated one?
That's the PS2 one. You can get that one. You can get Bounty Hunter, which is really bad.
Yes.
Buddy. You can get all of them.
Rod Hunter Thunderheart with a $20 Canadian super chat. Hell, Loki, Rogue One didn't appeal to me. It took Princess Leia's accomplishments and turned her into just a pretender for the real heroes who took the Death Star plans. Leia tries to get away with diplomatic line. Don't like it. We always knew she had the plans, but they kept it, besides the games, they kept it kind of ambiguous how she got the plans. So I like the Dark Forces games with Starkiller. I really do. And thank you so very much, Rod Thunderheart, for that $20 Canadian super chat, brother. We're doing Vader all day. Skol! And Chris Persia, wow. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hold on. Chris Persia says, wow, you're really representing our nation. Thank you for your super chat. Skol! and humor and waffles, Lucasfilm could make an entire MCU out of just the Yuzong Bong New Jedi Order. Yes, for heaven's sake. Yes, they could. Absolutely, they could. So, guys, thank you so much for being here this morning. Big thank you to Valiant, who's already left. Big thank you to Mark the Infinitely Tired, Purple Valkyrie, AGP. Thank you so much for hopping on, Amanda. Bat Steven Seagal, thank you for being fat and smelling like Crisco.
Oh, God damn it, Loki. I swear to God, man. I love you, too. I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here. I'm going to take a piss out all over you. I'm transforming.
Guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Thank you all for hanging out with us in chat. Thank you all for being here. And we will catch you guys later tonight for the Comic Book Roundtable. Everyone have a great one. If you are not subscribed to these wonderful people, Mark the Infinitely Tired has a channel that he's been doing with Rob Pearson. Purple Valkyrie, of course, has Rise and Shine with Purple Valkyrie. Amanda Gillum Presents has, of course, Amanda Gillum Presents. And Pat Steven Seagal just hit 1K. Big round of applause for Pat Steven. Way to go, brother. If you have not checked out his channel, check him out. And we will catch you guys later tonight on Steven's channel for the Comic Book Roundtable.
Yes.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye. Y'all come back now, you hear?
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.